Hey there folks, thanks for checking out our board game night. Tonight we're going to have a review of Indulgence. This is made by Restoration Games. If you're not familiar, Restoration Games take older games and then redo them with an updated art, maybe a couple of tweaks to the rules, better components, and then bring it out to us, the masses, to try out and play. So with me tonight for the review I have Tony.
Mom, Sydney or Tony.
Yeah, Molo.
Cardinal Molo.
And Martin and myself, Jason. Right, so Martin's going to explain the game to us, but what's going to happen is we're going to give you a quick overview of the rules so you understand what we're doing. And then during the gameplay turn, you can follow along as we explain and say what we're doing. And then at the end of the video, we'll do our verdict where we discuss what we liked and disliked about the game and give a score out of 10. Alright, so take it away, Martin.
Okay. So this is a trick-taking game with a bit of a twist. So there is a deck consisting of 4 suits, 1 to 9 in each one. Follows fairly standard trick-taking rules. Highest card takes the trick, essentially. However, we'll play for 3 turns, and a turn consists of each player being the ruler once. The ruler will pick an edict, which is shown here. I don't know if you can see that. These rules. We'll pick a rule that's in play, essentially. So let's say I'll take this one. So the rule in play in this instance will be to not take any 6s, and anyone that gets 6s will pay 2 money to the ruler. Okay, so once, let's say I'm the ruler, once I've selected that, the person to the left of me, so in this case Jason, can choose to essentially abide by that rule, or he can choose to be the sinner, which flips over and essentially does the opposite. It's a good way to get a large score, but it's obviously a bigger risk. Okay, so in this instance, Jason would be saying, no, I'm going to take all the 6s, and if I succeed, he gets 6 money from each player. Okay, just to say, everyone starts off with 30 money in their strong box. The gems are 5, and the 1s are 1, obviously, and we're playing for money, so most money at the end of the game wins. So being the sinner is a good way to get quite a lot of points, particularly from everybody. If the game will end if somebody can't afford to pay as well. So bleeding money from other people is another strategy to end the game. But obviously failure's got a stiff penalty as well. So if Jason is fine to abide by that, then Tony would have the option. If he's okay, then Molo, and then the ruler cannot choose to sin, so essentially we're just playing by that don't take any 6s rule. Okay. If somebody does choose to sin, they get the Indulgence ring. The Indulgence ring is a one-shot use. It can turn one of their cards into a 10 value, which essentially means they're going to win that trick. And then that's pretty much the basics of the game. However, we're playing with the advanced rules, which puts these blood splat ones in. I'm assuming the blood splat edicts are a little bit more difficult. But we also have this papal bull card. Okay, once per game, as the ruler, you can choose to put all of these edicts in effect. Okay, so they're all there together, all the rules overlapping each other. And then, following the same rules again, the players get the option of trying to sin, if they want to. And that would mean you have to try and sin on essentially achieve all of them. If you do that, if you manage that, you immediately win the game. If you fail, it's got a fairly harsh penalty on it. It follows all the same rules again, so it goes round. If Jason didn't want to sin, then Tony could, etc. Otherwise, they're all in effect, and then they'd all essentially at the end just shuffle up, and more edicts would come out. And that's basically it. So we play for 3 rounds, or until someone can't pay their debt, and then most money at the end wins.
Isn't it also, this is like a time limit? If this runs out, the game ends as well? So?
No. It's basically
We'll run out of money.
Well, I think we'll have enough now because we've added the blood splat ones. The basic game has 8 less of these edicts, so we'll have enough anyway.
Right. Okay, cool. Alright, so that's the rough idea of how this plays. So we shall get started. We'll play through a couple of rounds and a couple of edicts, and then we'll come back to you and we'll play through a few rounds so you can see exactly how that flows. So see you in a bit. Alright, so this is the gameplay section. We've played 1 full round, which means everyone's been the leader once.
Some of us are doing better than others.
Yeah, this is my cash flow. I won one of the tricks. And then that's what Tony looks like. Molo. That's Martin's piddly little haul.
Shut up, man! Yeah, I am very broke.
All right, so you're going to see what Martin's perspective
This
is
is a
like.
magic underdog story
Okay.
come to fruition.
So we've dealt up our hands. There's my hand.
He's the ruler.
I'm the ruler this time, and now I'm going to do this for a couple of reasons. But I'm going to
First, he's going to choose one of these edicts.
Well, I'm
or-
not. I'm going to play my papal bull card to put all 3 of these edicts in play. So they are. We'll start with this one. Don't take any Sforzas. So that's the red. And apparently, you can't leave with Sforza. Don't take the most of any family, which is basically any suit. And also, don't take a pair of Borgias, which are the blue-green. So no pairs of those. So all 3 of those rules are in play. And the reason I'm doing that, as you've seen, I've basically skinned. But I'll score. So money goes to the ruler. I'll score for each one of these, assuming they fail. Okay. So, however, following standard rules, they get offered to Jason. Does he want to sin on each of those?
Which means I have to win everything.
Camera just dropped off the table there. So basically, yeah. Does he want to do all of that and potentially win the game? Otherwise, if he fails, he'll give me 18.
No,
which is-
I do not.
No, I'm not going to do it either.
I'm cool.
Okay.
Right.
So all 3 of these rules are in play. This one is going to hurt our brains.
Oh man, ironically, I think I could do those 3. The non-sinning ones.
Oh, right.
Oh, right, fine. So I can't lead with the red. I'm going to start off with... Let's get that out. I'm going to play that. Let's do that so we can see. So Jason played a 1 Medici. 1 knight. So trick goes to Molo.
You're trying to win the majority of purples, aren't you?
Don't take the most of any family.
Oh.
So you probably don't want any more purples, Mo. Just to remind you, you're a 9 of each suit as well.
Well, how much do I have to pay you if I have the majority?
2 per family have the majority in.
Okay.
Right, I'm going to get rid of that. Because as you can see my hand there, I have none of that. So let's go in there. I'll forward a little bit. So Molo wins that trick again.
Yay.
So there's no trump suit in this.
Okay. Dokie.
If you win all 3 of these, they get all ditched and 3 new ones come out.
Yes. Well, they're going to get all ditched anyway, and 3 new ones are going to come out because we're using them all. I've realised I made a mistake on the last round as well, but never mind.
Don't take any pairs of blue or green.
Correct. So if you put a blue on this, if you have no green, someone's getting some points. Okay, you win that, Tony.
Oh, that's long greens.
Oh, this one's a brain burner, isn't it?
I feel like winning anything is bad.
Yeah.
Most stuff is.
Pretty much.
Because it just pays you for everything we win.
I think I
Bad
have
for
a
you.
solution, but
Okay, Tony leads with a 2 in Medici. This time I'm not going to make that mistake. Which is what I should have done last time. That's yours, Jason. You lead. Take it you got some greens as well, have you? Nice. All this is money coming to me, lovely.
You've not won anything yet.
No, I've just paid everyone else.
I mean, in this particular round, you've not won any hands yet.
I've also not won anything. Oh no, Molo's powered down. he needs to be rebooted.
He's going with a red 9.
Oh no! Oh, God, you all suck. All right. So red. Oh, can't really see that. I played a 1 lead with 1 red. Jason wins that. Nice.
Oh no!
Yay! Milo, your last card. Ooh. Oh!
No!
A pair of those as well.
Okay, my solution definitely didn't work then.
Right. Okay. So now, obviously, should we do one at a time?
Yeah, do one at a time.
Should we do take the most of a family? Right. I've got 3 blue.
I've got 4 blue.
I got
4
1
green.
blue.
3 red.
Just doing blues at the moment.
Shut up!
4 blue.
5
Right.
green.
Right. So you've got
4
the majority of blue.
Yep.
So you give me 2 money. Thank you. Okay. I've got 1 red.
I got 5.
None.
2 money,
3.
please. Green.
I have
4.
5.
I got none.
Molo, 2 money, please.
Oh, fucking hell.
And then what's the last one? Purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 money.
Thank you very much. Wow, it's working out already. Brilliant. Okay, so that's that one done. Okay, don't take any reds. So I've got 1, so I pay 1 to the bank because I'm the ruler. Okay,
I got 5.
5 cash, please, Jason. Thank you very much.
And
None.
3.
Oh, delightful. Okay, that's that one. And then pairs of blue-green. I've only got 3 blues, so I've got no green. So
I got no greens.
I have 1 pair.
I have 4 pairs.
That's 8 money and 2 from you as well, Milo.
Okay, can I get change, please?
Oh. 1, 2, 3. Thank you
It's
very much.
each pair taken, so it's
Yeah.
so
So you've got 4 pairs, 8 money.
Yeah.
God, it's yeah.
Ouch.
Oh,
There you go. Thank you very much. Wow, marvellous. That worked out swimmingly. There you go. So,
You're back in the cash again.
oh yeah, I've got...
Taken the sin for
So
us.
I went
then.
from 8, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to 33. I got 25 money that round. So I'm actually up on what I started now. Brilliant. Right, so they all go now. We get 3 new edicts. Jason will be the new ruler. And obviously this is
Bottom or the top?
bottom. Deal with the bottom 3. This is turn 2, and we're kind of halfway through turn 2, basically. And then we'll deal out the thing and carry on. Right, well, guess we'll see you at the end.
Please. I need to take off my shirt.
To go. All right, I just wanted to stick on the camera here quickly and show you a little bit of this round. Molo is the ruler. He decided to do the everything,
Papal,
Yeah.
papal bull.
and Martin then decided to sin. So he's going to try and achieve these 3 edicts. So he's going to take the last purple, he's going to take the last red, and he's going to have the most tricks. If he does this, he wins the game. If he fails,
Molo's
gets
likely to win the game.
Yeah.
Well, we got another round, to be fair, but
We've played a couple of hands already,
Yeah.
and
Tony won a hand, Molo's won a hand, Molo's now leading, and then Jason decided it's probably wise. I think he's seen the writing on the wall.
this is a
I
crucial
still have the beautiful ring, which is basically I can turn anything into a 10.
which of course, Julie, we have kissed.
It's also worth noting that you still have your paper ball. You're the only one remaining after this round that will have it.
yeah. All right. This is my hand currently. I'll show you from my perspective. All right, go Molo.
6. Medici.
Okay. I'll play an 8 Medici.
I'm going to play a 2.
Tony wins the trick. Right, you cannot win any more tricks. I think, Tony, I need to start winning.
Tony's the lead. What are we going with? Green. Alright, Martin's won a trick.
Okay.
Red 9, eh? Another trick for you. Oh, he's pulling out all the stops. Does that mean someone's still got a red? Is it you?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
That would have got it anyway.
So did you do it?
Yeah, well, I think so.
So have you got the most tricks?
Yes.
Did you... I
got the
presume
last
you won the last
purple.
of the purple, yeah.
And
I think the last red as well.
the last red, yeah.
Well, there you go. That means, as it says on the edict, success wins the game, failure pays 18 to the ruler.
Get in!
Look at his... Here we go. So that is
All
how...
thanks to Molo. Thanks, man.
I knew I had a terrible hand. I was hoping that it was distributed more around the table. So it was as simple as that. It was one way or the other.
I had a pretty good hand. Well, obviously. I thought I might... there was a few things I struggled on, but I had low, middling greens, and when you played that low green, it got rid of the last green. I thought, oh, I'm disco now. I was tempted to play that on the green to ensure I won it, and I thought I'd gamble it.
I was trying to get rid of one set from my hand so that I could then just waste cards that you needed into other people's tricks.
Well, awesome.
Sadly, you took over at the end.
We might as well carry on with the
Suppose we can
verdict.
work out who came. So 5, 10, 15, 20,
I've got 16 left.
35 then, Molo, is that?
36.
20, 30...
He's just pipped you by 1.
Oh, man. Oh, 38.
38.
38 by 2.
How much do you get, dude?
I got 16.
16.
16. Oh, okay.
He was winning like comfortably after like the first round, and then he just lost so much money. It was ridiculous.
I suck at this game.
You did quite well as well.
All right, let's carry on with the verdict. Let's start with you. Let's start with you.
I'll start, yeah. So this is the second time we play this now, and the first time we played it with the basic rules. So no papal bull, none of the blood drip cards, which seemed to be a bit harder but a bit more interesting. And I thought it was okay. Most other people thought it was a bit shit, to be honest. However, with those stuff, I thought it made it much more interesting. There was times of excitement and fear and all that, and I thought it was actually a pretty good trick-taking game. The edicts definitely make things interesting. It's not overly complicated, although when you have 3 at once, you kind of have to wrap your brain around, you know, what to get and what not to get. It's a little bit confusing, but yeah, I actually thought it was pretty good. Certainly with the advanced rules, it's definitely a better game. The basic one is just, there's not enough to it, I think. If you like trick-taking games, I think you'll probably like this one, particularly if you like kind of pushing your luck and gambling and that sort of thing, because that's definitely that in there. Sinning is basically you're gambling and pushing your luck to try and get more points out of it. And I think I would score it a comfortable 7 out of 10.
Oh, cool. I think for me it was interesting. I'm not a trick-taking kind of... this is not my strongest suit, this game. This type of game, trick-taking. I just can't wrap my head around some of the rules. But I'll go through a couple of things that I think... First of all, I think the components are really good.
The components are really... I was thinking, actually, this ring is like... It's metal and... I mean, it's ostentatious, obviously, but it does... I mean, it looks beautiful on my hand.
Only a shame they didn't make these as metal coins.
Yeah, the metal
It
coins.
popped up the price a bit, but you've already got a metal ring and these little plastic gems.
Yeah. So, and a component card's a nice stock, so component's really good. Theme, I mean, it's a trick-taking game. Who really cares about the theme?
No theme, is there?
Yeah. So I think on those facets, this is a top-notch quality game. Obviously, as what you expect from restoration games. From a gameplay, I agree with Martin. The first time we played this, we played the basic rules, and I thought it was pretty boring. I felt that it just seemed like someone chooses a rule, and then the first person will sin it and win that trick, or that thing, the edict. So it just felt like, wow, this is just a very boring game. But the advanced rules make it a much more interesting game. I still don't think it's great, but I do think it's good enough to play on a regular basis. I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10. How about you, Tony?
Trick-taking. I love trick-taking games. Yeah, this is pretty much like any other trick-taking game. Except for, of course, you've got the sins and the edicts, which are quite interesting in that the usual edicts usually are don't take or don't do, and if you sin, you want to do it. So you look at your hand and you think, am I going to sin? Is it something on can do or can't do? So that makes interesting. 3 interesting rules if you do the papal bull, which is a bit of a possible grab for money.
Yeah.
Of you, if you're the person.
It's really good.
Well,
It's a one-off
sort-
grab.
yeah.
That massively improves the game because it means that you can become flush again rather than just being driven out of the game.
Yeah, just grinding down to a halt sort of thing.
I can't say what it was like in the basic because I never played the basic, but as it is now with all the advanced rules in, yeah, just a good basic trick-taking game, of which I always enjoy trick-taking games.
How much would you give it out of 10?
I would say 7.5.
And what did you say? 7?
7.
And you, Mullet?
Okay, well, yeah, like just with everybody else, when I first played it, I really didn't like it. And one of the things that I really didn't like about the game was that there was only really one thing happening per turn. We weren't playing to win the turn. One person normally was, or one person was trying to sort of just drive the hand. And that meant that it could just be sort of the hand was just sort of over halfway through or nothing was really going on. Didn't like that. And while it hasn't got rid of that, the more complicated cards and the ability to sort of play all the cards at once make up for that somewhat, which and sort of just massively improve the game. I really liked it this time round. Last time didn't particularly like it, and
I don't think it's overly complicated with the advanced rules either. So to be honest,
it's actually a very simple.
if you're pretty
I
comfortable with
think it
trick-taking
needs
games,
the advanced
I would
rules.
just jump straight in with the advanced rules anyway. They're not difficult.
Yeah, I would say like maybe a 6.5. It's not my favourite trick-taking game in the world. It's no Niet. So yeah.
Well, that's what I was just thinking now. It's like, some of the other trick-taking games. I've not played many because, like I said, trick-taking is not my strong suit. I struggle with the game a little bit. But I really like Niet. And I also really like the Barkside game from Lemon Publishing that I don't think actually funded on Kickstarter. But both of them had more interesting things. Like
You might like the hero. What was the hero one we played as well? That was
I was trying to
pretty
think
good. I'll
that. I
find
can't
out the name of that. That was quite interesting as well.
Oh, your Brutal Kingdom as well. That's pretty good.
Yeah, we play a lot of trick-taking games.
it's mostly because Tony likes them.
No, I think.
No, I'm
I think
quite
they-
a big fan.
Yeah,
of
they're quite like perennial. I think with quite a large portion of the group, which is all quite like. It's really you, the only person that really doesn't really like them. Most other people are quite fond of them.
I think it's not because I dislike the game. It's just I struggle to figure out how to play them. Every time I look at them, I'm not. You don't see during the gameplay that we do, but even in this game, I'm constantly asking them, do I want to do this or do I not want to do this?
So this one's a bit simpler than most, because most trick-taking have like a trump suit that will win everything, that sort of thing. And really, you're only abiding by one rule in this, which is the edict. So it is a bit more simple.
I've noticed as well when we play sort of cards based around brag or poker as well, you're a little lost on them.
Yeah.
And I think it's perhaps trick-taking, the first sort of game you play as a kid is trumps or like 7-card blackjack. Those are the sort of, you just need a deck of cards
Hearts
to
on
play.
the PC was the one that I played.
So it is kind of something most people learn early on, but you've not had the background with sort of playing
Mental
cards
note
and
to
stuff.
self. Invite Jason to the next big money poker game.
Can I do that as well, please? Sorry, yeah.
Well, there you go. That's our thoughts on Indulgence from Restoration Games. Obviously, very great, very good production quality, and obviously the guys really like it. We'd advise to go play the advanced rules straight from the box.
Definitely.
So, thanks for watching. See you guys later.
Yeah.